Hello everyone and welcome back to another Grainman Explains video, and today we're looking at a new mod that's currently in beta and it's only for PC though, and it's called the Real Vehicle Breakdowns. Now this mod is actually something I found on King's Mods and then I had a quick look on GitHub, and the developer is currently making this to work inside FS22. So what it does, it breaks down quite a lot of the components of your vehicle, so you have some additional things that can go wrong and break down. Now this only works when it's had 8 months of in-game hours, so you can't even skip through with easy dev mode because that doesn't seem to work. But it does mean that obviously after it's 8 months old, certain things can go wrong. So instead of it just being completely damaged, then things like you can have a thermostat error. So the thermostat on the engine will either make the engine overheat, which damages the engine more, or it will cool the engine too much, so it'll actually overcompensate, and then that will make the engine use more fuel. So that also has a big problem. You've got the problem where the front and rear lights can go wrong, so they'll stop working, including your brake lights and also your indicators. That's pretty cool. It says on one of the descriptions spark plugs, but in a recent update the developer has changed it now to glow plugs, because all engines mainly in FS22 are diesel, so they use glow plugs. They can go wrong, so that's pretty cool. The window screen motor can go wrong, so when it rains your window wipers stop working, so that's pretty interesting, I must admit. The things like your generator for your alternator for your battery can go wrong, so your battery will go completely flat, so you can't charge or start your engine, so that's pretty cool. The engine error can happen completely, so if the tractor's quite old then it will have some issues where it won't start. The starter motor itself will also have a problem, and then you've also got service intervals, so after it's got 8 months old, if it's done a certain amount of hours after, then you will have the issue where you need to do a inspection and an intermittent service. So there's a new menu system as well, so it's on Alt W, but what you do get though is when you put it on, firstly the option to say repair only in vehicle workshop is selected. So that does mean that, so if we reset everything back to default, that does mean that you can't see any of your vehicles if you're in a repair bay. You'd have to take these back to the main one on the map. So the easiest way to get around that is do Alt W on the keyboard. Then you have some options. So in here you've got your periodic service, which is your 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours and 100 hours. So leave it at 40. The option to repair only in vehicle workshop is the one that will stop you seeing your vehicles in the menu unless you take it to a repair bay like the one baked into the map. But I've actually put the base game one down on here. Then you've also got the vehicle opening hours. So vehicle workshop opening, 7. You can make that 7 till 7, and then you've also got an alert message that pops up, so that's pretty cool. So obviously in here, when you do have it set where you when you have it set in the options to repair only in vehicle workshop to off, when you come in here all your vehicles will be listed, so that's pretty cool. I think that's a really nice idea, but obviously it gives you all the information about your operating time, your real operating time, your service intervals, if it's leased, how much it's worth, etc. So we have done some fiddling and testing, so that's why I know that if you do set the operating time to be like 500 hours but it's not actually done it properly in the game, then it won't actually kick in this mod and the vehicle has to be over 8 months old. But like I said, it is still in beta, so there's a few little bugs here and there, but it is a really cool little idea. It does add a few other bits and bobs to the game as well. So if you get close to your vehicle now, you get a little bit more information where you get the battery level. You also get the power of your vehicle, which is pretty good. So I'm guessing if the engine gets damaged, then the power will start to drop down, which makes sense. But once you get in, you'll see that you've got a few more bits and bobs on the hood. So I've made my hood a little bit bigger for this video and moved my watermark to the left. So as you can see here, you also get 0.0 litres an hour. So that's how good the fuel efficiency of the engine is. If you get a few issues with the engine, also the coolant, then that goes up or can go down. You've got RPM, and you've also got degrees C. Now if the engine is below 30 degrees it will pop up a message. Now this one is above 30 degrees, but as you can see as you drive they change and etc, so that's pretty cool. So if we come out of there and we probably go into our Massey Ferguson, we'll probably see that temperature is probably under 30 degrees. So that will mean, I would have thought, we'll probably get a message pop up. So start the engine. Go a bit too fast, there we go, do not drive too fast, the engine is still cold, and the faster you drive with the engine being cold the more damage you will do to the engine. So it doesn't take long to warm up, obviously, so I'm already at 27, 28 and 30 already. So if you left it a couple of minutes just for it to get all the lubrication around and coolant working, then it will be absolutely fine, so that's pretty good. One other thing that it does do as well is not only does it also have all those different bits and bobs that can go wrong, if you have a tractor and the battery is flat, so if you left all your lights on and literally then just skip through time a little bit, so we'll skip through time a little and go up to here, we'll see that the battery is dropping quite dramatically because we've left our lights on. But if we get down to, let's see, let's try and now start the engine. It will still start at 50%, so that's okay. So what does it need to get to? Okay, let's have a look. Probably completely flat, maybe. It's stuck at 25%, so let's have a look. And the engine won't start. So you just get a really nice noise that the engine won't start. So that's pretty cool. So obviously at this point you're thinking, well, what can I do? My lights have gone off, my battery's discharged. But if you go Alt and W, you can come here and you can actually charge the battery for £194. Click R. Say OK. And that will start charging the battery and it'll be done. So I think whole nap is probably German for tomorrow, or whatever language the developer's native in. I don't know personally, but obviously that might be changed in later versions. But if we skip through till tomorrow, so go fast, super fast time. So the battery's at 25%. Still can't actually do anything with that. So I'll do Alt W. Let's charge the battery again. 109, so that's going to be 951. So let's skip through a minute. Then our battery's at 30%. Again, I don't think that's going to. Oh no, 30% you can start the vehicle, so that's pretty good. So then, obviously, if we get out and leave the vehicle running, then if we skip time again, head a little bit more, we should see that the engine. Yeah, there we go. The engine alternator will kick in, thus meaning that the battery will charge itself. So that's just something I think is a really nice cool feature. So if you left your lights on or you left the vehicle for a long time, the battery might go flat. You can either charge it by bringing it somewhere, or you can then just leave it running and then it will charge the battery itself. So just a nice little additional mod I think will work really nicely with FS22, just to bring a bit more realism to things. I haven't done any long-term testing with this. I might do moving forward on a couple of my series to see if it works. But hopefully I'll put the link to the King's Mods page and also to the GitHub repository, because I think this mod would help from getting even more people involved with testing it and then feeding back any issues to the developer to make it right. I do know that the Realistic Damage modder and this modder have spoke on the GitHub, and they're wanting to make sure that both mods work side by side. So pretty cool, I must admit. But hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like. Subscribe to the Grainman channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Many thanks for watching.